When people hear the phrase bad neighborhoods, a world of images, assumptions, and emotions often comes to mind. For some, it conjures up scenes of urban decay, abandoned buildings, graffiti, and an air of caution. For others, it might mean neighborhoods with high crime rates, limited opportunities, and struggle. But what actually makes a neighborhood bad? And is that label fair or accurate? Let's delve deeper into this loaded term, explore its origins, and examine the reality behind the headlines. Neighborhoods inherit their reputations from a mix of statistics, stories, and stereotypes. Some areas earn notoriety through a high incidence of crime, but more often, so-called bad neighborhoods are the product of a complex weave of economic hardship, historic neglect, and social challenges. The roots can stretch back decades or even centuries, sometimes to discriminatory policies that denied residents equal opportunity and investment. Redlining, for example, was a government-supported practice in the 20th century that identified areas, often based on race, as too risky for banks to give mortgages. This contributed to disrepair and decline, in contrast to the prosperity seen in good neighborhoods, which received support and investment. But when we peel away the labels, what do we see? In every community, regardless of crime or poverty rates, there are families who care for one another, teachers committed to their students, and entrepreneurs trying to create better futures. The perception of a bad neighborhood is often cemented by the evening news, focused almost exclusively on negative incidents, ignoring the daily acts of kindness and resilience found among residents. Stories of hardship and struggle dominate the conversation, but they are only part of a larger, more nuanced reality. Life in these labeled neighborhoods is defined by more than circumstances. It's defined by people, hope, and determined spirits. The communities are often tightly knit, with residents watching out for each other, sharing resources, and creating informal networks of support. Challenges are real. Residents may deal with underfunded schools, fewer job prospects, or a lack of healthcare access. But solutions are being sought, both within and beyond the neighborhood's limits. One of the most common threads in these communities is an intense sense of pride and identity. While outsiders may look in with fearful eyes, residents often possess a deep love for their streets, their neighbors, and their history. Local leaders emerge from adversity, mothers who organize neighborhood cleanups, men who mentor youth to keep them away from trouble, and artists who transform abandoned walls into canvases of hope. Community gardens, sports leagues, and annual festivals embody a collective determination to turn challenge into opportunity. The label bad neighborhood is problematic for more than the potential insult it carries. It can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. When people and places are written off, resources are withheld, real estate values plummet, and fresh investments are steered elsewhere. The talented are encouraged to leave, and local issues become harder to solve. But in recent years, a growing chorus has called for a shift in perspective, from stigmatization to empowerment. City planners and policymakers are recognizing that every neighborhood deserves safe streets, good schools, and access to jobs. Efforts to revitalize struggling communities no longer focus solely on policing but take a holistic approach, investing in education, infrastructure, affordable housing, and economic growth. Partnerships between residents, businesses, nonprofits, and the government offer a fuller toolkit, aiming to address root causes rather than symptoms alone. There is also a rising awareness that the dangers most often associated with bad neighborhoods are not evenly distributed. Statistics show that while crime rates may be higher in some urban areas, most residents are not involved in criminal activity, and violent events are often concentrated among a small group of individuals. This means that the majority go about their days, the school children, the workers, the elderly, doing their best to build safe, stable lives. Gentrification, meanwhile, brings a new layer of complexity. When outside investment flows in, transforming neighborhoods with new developments and rising property values, longtime residents may find themselves pushed out, priced away from the very places they worked so hard to maintain. What some see as progress, others experience as loss. The neighborhood's character, shaped by generations of struggle and solidarity, can evaporate as new faces and new businesses replace the old. In truth, there are no easy answers. Crime, poverty, and disadvantage are deeply intertwined issues with roots in broader social and economic systems. But even as challenges persist, hope persists too. Success stories abound. Neighborhoods long dismissed as hopeless are reborn, becoming safer and more vibrant through sustained effort and collaboration. Local voices, finally heard, play a crucial role in shaping the destiny of their communities. For those on the outside looking in, it's important to move beyond sweeping labels and quick judgments. Empathy, curiosity, and respectful engagement reveal that so-called bad neighborhoods are full of inspiring individuals, people doing their best, striving for better, never losing sight of the possibility of change. When we listen to these voices, we discover rich histories, creative energy, and an unbreakable will to thrive. So, as you think about bad neighborhoods, consider this. The places we write off are also places of potential, resilience, and humanity. Their stories matter, not as warnings, but as reminders that every community, no matter its struggles, has strengths worth celebrating and investing in. Changing the narrative starts with changing our perspective, seeing not just the problems, but the promise in every neighborhood, every street, and every person who calls it home.